Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty Mig Spammer, and this is, obviously, Sid Meier's Civilization 5 Brave New World. Now, I have been thinking for a while which game do I want to record today, because I couldn't record Endless Space. I mean, I already uploaded 2 videos in a row of this game, and I like to mix things up, and 3 in a row, that's bad for business, as I would say. Sword of the Stars the Pit, yeah, that's all nice and dandy, but I cannot play it right now for some reasons. Game Dev Tycoon I no longer care about, so you're not gonna see any more of that anytime soon. I'm sorry for those of you that liked this playthrough, as short as it was. What else? Introducing, I don't really have anything to introduce to you, so I'm not gonna do anything of this series. And Heroes of Might and Magic, yeah, I need games here for that. I couldn't record right off the bat, and that's exactly what I'm in a mood for. So I decided to show you Brave New World expansion, which I did buy. Yes. So anyway, what I'm going to do is play probably a short playthrough. I might continue with another one, maybe in fact a multiplayer one if there are some volunteers in, and if I can figure out how to do it well. But for now I just want to show to you what this expansion gives you more or less, so that you know if it is worth your money or not. I'll say that I'll talk about it later. So anyway, what I'm also going to do is use some mods. Now, I've seen a lot of people actually spamming those Brave New World playthroughs, and yeah, that's understandable. I mean, they want some easy views, and that's pretty much, you know, hot new content, that's what gives you views, obviously. And I would lie if it wasn't one of the things I took into consideration when picking a game which I wanted to cast, but honestly, there wasn't really any other choice for me. I mean, what other games I could cast? I couldn't think of anything else other than obviously Endless Space. So anyway, the mods that I'm going to use to make this playthrough a little bit different are Default Strange Religions, which obviously is an add-on to the Strange Religions mod. Actually, I should be using, yes, I should be using the V.9 one because it's the updated one. I really like this mod because having a ton of fake religions added in the game, it's kinda cute, and I just like playing around with those. It's something you should check out yourself if you have the time and or patience for it, because, you know, why not? I'm not sure if the Default Strange Religions mod actually works in this expansion. I mean, keep in mind, it just came out recently, but let's hope it works. Real advanced setup, I just really want to show to you because I will not be using all that. You know, I will not really be using it actually at all, but I want to show it to you because it's a really good mod that you should take a good look at. What else is there? Oh yes, Red Just Ethnic Diversity, which is another to... There it is, Red Mod Pack version 27. Now, Red deserves a special shout out because it's honestly my favorite mod of all C5 mods. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, because it actually makes your civilizations feel unique by making them look awesome and making them look proper. You know, because in the past, all those Asian civilizations would look exactly like the European civilizations. Obviously, I'm not talking about the units that are unique to certain faction, but you know what I'm talking about. So now the game is going to configure the game data to turn those mods on while I continue to talk about the Red mod pack, because I also have to say this. This Brave New World just recently came out, it really did. But this guy who's behind this mod, he's like a crazy workaholic. I mean, this mod is already working with Brave New World. I actually think it was working since day one, though I cannot confirm that because I didn't have the game since day one. I'm in Europe, so you know, in Europe we are tainted, we get our games late. Obviously, there are apparently Ocean City internet, so we cannot gain access to our games as fast as our friends from beyond the ocean. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that this mod, the guy behind this mod is crazy sporting his child, I would say, and even now he already added a bunch of custom skins to Polish units, Brazil units. Actually, I think he only added one custom skin for Brazil. I don't really know. I already read some of the patch notes, but I didn't have a chance to check this mod out for myself. Right now I've been playing without the use of any mods, and this is my first time in the expansion when I'm actually using those mods. Still, the work that this guy does is incredibly amazing, and you should check him out. Now, I'm going to play as Poland, because hey, I'm made in Poland, so why wouldn't I? And there's a lot of funny thing. Do you know what civs I have been playing as before this mod came out? Obviously, that's gonna be very easy. Ask Korea. And do you know what other Civ I've been playing as before the mod came out? Only as Korea. I have never ever played Civ 5 as any faction other than Korea. I think I played as China once or twice. But other than that, I have only been playing as Korea. Why? Because I'm just so in love with Korea, and I know that you're supposed to play as many different civilizations, but I cannot help it. Now, Brave New World changed things a little bit for me. Maybe now I'll be able to try out the other civilizations. And I started by trying the Polish one, and maybe this will give me the guts to actually go ahead and try a different civilization later on. For now, however, I want to play as Poland. Thank you very much. Now, what kind of map size are we going to pick? Now, this is very important, but first, before I mess around with those settings, I'm gonna go to where those settings really matter, which is Advanced Setup. Now, this is the really advanced setup, the mod that I have loaded, which, as said, you should check out, because it allows you to customize the game to any extent you like, and I mean it. You can do pretty much anything you want in here. You can give yourself, as you can see, a starting bonus to something like faith or whatever. You can obviously choose the AI's civs, that's nothing new, but you can also edit a bunch of different stuff. You can make them start with 5,000 culture if you're suicidal. You can give them some extra aluminum at the start, why not, let's give them a billion of it. You can add them, I don't know, chariot archer at the start of the game, because hey, why not? You can do all sorts of cool, crazy stuff, and I do love this mod for it. And why is that, you may ask? Because I like customizing the starting factions. For example, I like making things interesting. So when I played in the past, before this expansion came out, I would play as Korea and give myself 1 or 2 free technologies, because, you know, I was Korea, I'm centered around technology. I would give, for example, Russia some extra, I mean, not Russia, Arabia, some extra gold at the start so that they can buy more stuff. I would give Celts some extra faith, or I would give some extra units to Germany. You know the deal. That's what I would do, and it really made the game more interesting to me, and also much faster as well, which is something I really, really enjoy. But for the purpose of this playthrough, I'm going to just go for default settings for pretty much everything. Reason why is because, you know, it is a YouTube playthrough, and I do want to show you this really advanced setup, I also want to play it in the so-called legit way. So, you know. Right, how am I going to set up this game? Well, do is a little bit small map size, although I do want to make this cast relatively short-ish. So I think small is the map size I'm going to go with. 6 players, 12 city-states. That's actually fairly big, don't get me wrong. What kind of map type I'm going to go for? Honestly, my favorite ever map type, which remains my favorite ever since I started playing Civ 5, is always Pangaea. I just like having continuous land all across the board. I mean, I do sometimes like to spice things up by going for little islands, or maybe for just the standard small continents, or actually doing some crazy other map types. But Pangaea is still my favorite, just because, I don't know, I like being able to reach my units without the use of ocean. Also, I tend to notice that if civilizations are too far apart because of oceans, then this does slow the action down, at least until the very late game, when you can move across ocean terms fairly quickly. So, small map size, let's set the number of civilizations to map default. Now, this is a cool feature of really advanced setup. It allows you to pick which factions you can random, so that's fairly cool. And I'm going to pause the recording in a moment and turn off all non-expansion factions. So what we're going to see will only be the expansion factions that were added in Brave New World. This is going to make things a little bit more interesting in my opinion, and we'll see all the new goodness that the game has for us. Also, this mod is fairly intelligent, so if you turn on those factions on or off or whatever, it's not going to run 2 factions in a row, unless you only allow it to run 1 faction, for example, so you know how it goes. And that's pretty much about it. You can obviously customize everything. I also turn on the early card house option, which does give you card house from the start. First of all, I like this idea. It also goes well with this static sellers optional. If you feel like you don't want every faction to start with sellers, for example, maybe you want to simulate some kind of invasion scenario, where you don't want everybody to have sellers. But early card house, I honestly leave it on because I'm afraid that leaving it off will break this mod a little bit. I have seen this happen, but it was a very long time ago, so it's very possible that this issue has been fixed. advanced game options, anything you could expect. I'm going to leave random personalities on because I like this. New random seed I always leave on, and I do allow myself to save up for policies and promotions because, I don't know, I like it. Difficulty level, now I need to explain this. I will go for the king. I know some of you may be surprised that only king is kind of like deity or immortal, because in endless space I always go for the hardless, endless, which is for some people very difficult to beat the game as, and I don't really have too many problems with that. But I'm much worse in Civ 5, trust me on that. I'm at heart an endless space player, not a Civ 5 player. Alright? So that's why I'm going for king. It is going to give the air some unfair advantages, so it will make my day difficult, to say the least. I'm gonna start with ancient area, and game pace I will actually go for quick yet again, because I don't want this game to last for too long. If I do end up making another playthrough, I will go for standard, but that is debatable. And now I'll pause the recording because I do need to set those factions, and this is boring. Also, I'll start the game already. Actually no, I do want you to listen to the opening screen, but you know, I'll be right back. Okay, we are almost ready to begin. I know this is a long intro, but I almost forgot to show you a few other things. One is the starting visibility slider, which does allow you to increase the amount of things you see at the start of the game. This does not remove the fog of war, it just lets you see if there's other place you want to settle in. And as I said, I want to play this in a legit way, so I'm gonna remove the bonuses that the slider can give you. So I'm gonna start with the default amount of sight. Also, what I'm going to do is start with legendary start resources. Why? Because it makes the game nice and quick, and it also makes your capitals really nice and strong, which is something I like. I like it when capitals are just that, capitals, which are those very powerful cities. Sea level high because I felt like it, I don't know why I set it to high, I just did. Rainfall arid. Now this is honestly going to give me a little bit of advantage because having less woods and jungles and whatnot is going to make my cavalry more powerful, and that's Poland's biggest strength. I'm sorry, I need some bonus because I like winning, I don't want to lose against AI, thank you very much, even though I'm only playing at king. Alright, I'm gonna start the game now and shut up to let this awesome guy talk with his incredible voice.
All hail noble King Casimir the Great, protector and sovereign of the Kingdom of Poland. You ascended to the throne during a time of great turmoil, with the nation's economy in shambles and its people demoralized by the wars of your predecessor. And yet your reign marked the beginning of a new era, with affluence and security afforded only by way of your careful governance. Among your most notable achievements, the code of laws you established gave legal authority to many of the accepted customs of the time, strengthening the nation. Honored King Casimir, the people have long admired the steady hand of governance you wield. Can you return your kingdom and its subjects to a golden age of prosperity? Will you conquer all those who oppose you, or strive for peaceful relations? Can you build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Now, I'm gonna be honest, I love this guy's intros to the vanilla factions, alright, and Korea. But in Brave New World, it does sound a little bit like he's sorry all the time. I don't know why. It's just something like when he said this, will you? It sounds like, will you please kiss me in the cheek because I feel like it. I don't know. He still has an awesome voice, don't get me wrong. It's just, he sounds a little bit different. Maybe he had a cold when he recorded this. I don't know. Let's begin our journey. And let's listen to a famous Polish Christmas carol. No, I'm not kidding. As you know, every faction civilization in Civilization 5 has those two unique soundtracks, one for peace and one for war, and the ones for Poland were inspired by a Christmas carol of ours. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that later, but now I wanna see the area around me. Now, this doesn't look like a bad location for a city. I'm standing on a hill, which is usually nice. There are two sets, there's a set of... Let me try it again because I failed. There's wood all around me, there's even more wood over there. Is there maybe an ocean further down the road? I'll check it out with my warriors. There's a mountain, that's very good, it will allow me to build an observatory, which is usually a pretty good idea. There's also another mountain over there, yet again a good thing because it will give me a defensive bonus. There's gold, there's salt. as you can expect from a legendary start. However, there is a river which I do want to settle next to in order to gain access to water wheels, which are an amazing thing to have, and there is also a coast. And this would allow me to make, you know, fishing boats and other maritime units, and if this sea does go out into the ocean, wherever the ocean is, then having a capital next to it would be amazing, but it would just allow me to gain access to the salt and maybe to a mountain as well. Let's see, is there another mountain over there? There isn't. So I'd have to pick between a mountain and access to sea. I do like having access to sea, I'm not gonna lie. Right. You know what, I'll pause the video for a second because I need to think about this. I'm sorry. Be right back. Alright, so, I'm sorry for the screen that just popped up. That's unfortunately a shortcut for Civilization 5. It happens to be the same as shortcut for my fraps. Anyway, what I think is that it's more important that I found my city at a good location than actually next to a shore. Because while this, for example, here, right here, or maybe over here, looks nice and does give me access to water, which I will love, it's nowhere near as good as this location over here. Keep in mind we do start with a legendary start. However, I do think that this thing over here would be even better. It is a grassland forest, next to a river, next to a mountain. I would still gain access to salt, even more salt, some wheat, even more wheat, gold. It looks great, so I'm gonna move my settlers over here to this town and settle my city in the next 10. I will have access to the river, I will have access to loads of other stuff, and I believe I cannot go wrong with this decision. In the meantime, my AI friends cheat like they have never cheated before, because you're not supposed to gain this amount of score this early on. But yeah, as I said, King difficulty, cheats for the win, and oh, those are some ruins, that's very nice, and actually it isn't, because honestly, I have the worst luck in video games and I tend to find really horrible pathetic ruins. Also there's a desert nearby, which is not the best, but I do have more access to grassland over here than I would have over there somewhere. There's another mountain though, which could be a problem, but it also makes my city much harder to get if somebody attacks me from this side. In fact, I would have to go through a choke point, which is not a bad thing for me at all. Alright, let's actually make my way towards those ruins because it will take a while. Actually, I do want to see some more area. And looky here, another ruins, and there's actually some fishes here. So I think that this area will be an area for my secondary town whenever I choose to actually settle somewhere over there and make my settlers, which will take me some time. Now, what kind of tech am I going to go for? I always start with going for straightforward writing. Why? I love Russian Grade Library. It feels like an amazing thing to have. Now, it is oftentimes very difficult to actually get this grade library before AI, because as I said, it tends to cheat. I'm not sure if it does get a free technology at King level, but even if it does not, it does gain something that allows it to gain those wonders at a very quick pace and fast pace, and it is very difficult to get it before the AI. I'll try to do it, but I might fail horribly, and then I'll just lose the game, which does happen from time to time. Anyway, first unit for today will be a scout. I do want to see the area around me. I do want to pick those ancient ruins, although if I do want to get this great library, I might consider going for monument. Now, you should never not go for scout if you're playing on a big map, but this is only a small map, so maybe it is worth taking the risk and actually starting with going for monument. Also, as soon as I finish it, I'll also gain access to shrine, which would be great because I do want to found a religion, which is usually a very good thing to have. I mean, religion is awesome, don't get me wrong. In this game, at least. Anyway, as you can see, AI is cheating for the win. Their score is so much higher than me. I mean, I know I took a 110 to find my city, but still, it just goes to show. Anyway, what did I find? Something nice, please. Oh, 13 culture, that's actually not this bad. I say as I now realize that usually you're supposed to get like 25 culture. I think it's randomized, but this game gave me a bad number. Then again, 13 is my lucky number. It really is, I'm deadly serious. Some people consider it unlucky. It only brought me luck, so maybe it's a good sign. Also, it's very good for me as Poland, because Poland is amazing for getting as many policies as you can get. That's because Poland is specialized in getting extra policies. Each time we advance to a new era, as you can see, I'll be given a free policy, which I have to spend right away, but it's still very awesome. And it allows you to amass so many of them. Now, which policy do I want to start with? tradition is almost always the choice I'll go for. Why? Because adapting tradition does give you this extra free culture per turn in your capital, and more so if you play on a, no, actually, yeah, whatever. It does give you plus 3 culture per turn in the capital, which is indeed very, very nice. I like it a lot. And this allows you to gain other cultures also relatively quickly. Later on, I have a choice if I want to go for aristocracy, so that this might actually allow me to gain this great library faster than the AI, or I can go for liberty to gain my extra worker faster, which will also allow me to get this great library faster. Or I could just go for collective rule as quickly as possible. There are many choices when you go for tradition first. Honestly, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Man, I almost always play with the option that makes called the Raging Barbarians, which makes Barbarian spawn rate ridiculous. Because I like Barbarians, they give me a little bit of a challenge and they are fun to fight against. But I forgot to do this right now. And one of the reasons why I go for extra Barbarians is just to make the honor policy more viable. Because right now, there are not too many reasons to go for honor. I mean, heck, those are not policies. I mean, what is there in honor? I mean, the ability to gain gold from killing the enemy units, it's pretty cool. But compared to all the other things you can get early on, it's not that great, honestly. So having a lot of barbarians everywhere does allow you to gain a very nice amount of culture by killing them. And that's why I tend to go for extra barbarians, just to make this path actually viable, which it usually isn't. And OMG, no! OMG, I'm so angry. There was a coast right here. I could have settled like maybe all on this tunnel and gain access to a mountain, gain access to a coast, but then again I would have access to a river. So now actually I'm happy with the area where I made war. So I mean now I have access to the sword, to those wheats, tiles, I have easy access to gold, to everything, I'm next to a river. And there might not be a river over here. And extra population just after I grew. Wow, that's really good luck. Now I have 3 population right off the bat, and this is going to make my city amazing indeed. Also, I already have access to the switch, which does make me a very happy panda. Now I'm gonna end the turn rate again. Civ 5 is one of those games that starts very, very slowly. That's something that Endless Space doesn't suffer from. It does start much, much faster. Even though it does start slowly as well. And, oh, this area over here is actually not that bad. Next to the truffles allows you to... No, it still doesn't have a river. I'm fine with the area picked. I'm really am. I'm gonna make a second town somewhere over there. It's all going to be beautiful. Besides, Poles are not exactly known for their amazing sailing skills or whatnot, are they? No, indeed not. We are known for amazing cavalry, and that's about it. And good games. I mean, CD Projekt Red is a Polish company, isn't it? So, another policy to be adopted. That's very nice. Obviously, that's because of the runes. I got really good luck, I have to admit. Usually, I only discover like maps or locations of barbarian caps. This time, now, the game was actually nice to me. So, what do I want to go for? More liberty would give me even more culture, allowing me to get another policy more quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Besides, it would give me faster access to Walker if I choose to go for it, and also Republic if I choose to go for it as well. Yeah, let's go for Liberty. It's a very nice idea to have as much policy early on as possible. Now, I don't think there's land on the top. I'm pretty sure there's another piece of coast. That sounds weird, but whatever. So let's move to this desert hill, and yeah, I don't see anything nearby. That's fairly good. Still did not, never mind, I did just discover Morocco. Yeah, guy, no, first of all, last game. Yeah, I killed him, by the way. In a very brutal manner. I just kinda annihilated him because he was there. He had the guts to found his own religion, which I didn't like because he started competing with my own religion. And yeah, I killed him because, hey, why not? I actually didn't want to kill him, I wanted to kill his neighbor, but because he founded his own religion, I kinda killed him instead. Fairly sad, isn't it? Anyway, he's going to waste a bunch of turns now walking around over here. Sadly, it also means that there are probably not going to be any more ancient ruins on this side of the map because he probably picked any that were remaining. However, I can't complain. I got 2 amazing ruins. I mean, culture and population are pretty much the best ruins. One thing that I like more than culture is faith, But there's nothing that I like more than population, honestly. Population is amazing, especially if you get it right after your city grows, then it is just a huge boost to everything you can imagine. Now, I'm almost done with my production, so let's add something to queue. What do I want to add? Well, granary would be very useful. I do have access to it, it would give me even more food production, on top of what granary usually gives you on its own. But I could use some scouts, you know? It would be beneficial. Maybe I would still find some ruins which could possibly help me. I would be able to find some city-states more quickly, and also I could gain those scouts relatively quickly, whilst granary there's no way I would get it before finishing writing. So yeah, let's get those scouts, and let's hope that I can find something awesome with them. And even if not, I can use them to defend from barbarians barbarians like this, that might actually invade my lands. Now, so far, you did not see the red mod in action because we have not discarded Asila. Oh, there it is! Red mod back in action! And also Zulus, by the way.
Mina ngingushala wakwaZulu. Ngiyimfizwa yamabutho. Ungakusho okufanayo nawe.
Yeah, what he said. Anyway, I did pick random personalities, so this guy might not necessarily be all warlike, but from this choice of wolves, I think he will actually try to kill me sooner rather than later. And it's a problem because he found me relatively quickly, it must mean that he is close by. So I will need to be ready for war whenever a war occurs. Still, in my last game when I actually crushed Morocco, I don't know how to spell your name in English, I'm very sorry, Morocco. I do like it though, I have been to Marrakesh, an amazing city. I mean, it does look a little bit arid, but I guess that's because of where it is. But I did like it, I really did. And your tea is very sweet, but it also is very nice. It's almost like my ginseng drink, except not really. But I still like the architecture, I really did. Anyway, what did I want to go for? Yeah, I did gain quick access to writing, that's good. What do I need now? Let's have a quick look at my surroundings. Having access to mining would allow me to make good use of this gold. I can already make good use of this wheat, and mining would also allow me to make use of this salt. So I think that mining is right now the best course of action. After that, however, I will go straight for calendar. Why? Because after gaining Great Library, I will be able to pick a new technology for free. And I always pick philosophy, because then I can rush Oracle, and Oracle gives me a free social policy. If you gain this as Poland, then that's like double free social policies because of your Polish trait, solidarity, and this just makes you accumulate your power early on up to a ridiculous level and makes you a powerhouse that nobody can even hope to match, which is something that I personally enjoy a great deal. Now, I think I'll actually try to take those barbarians out. Maybe I will move to this town so that if they attack me, I'll have a little bit of defensive terrain bonuses. It will be tough and it will take a long time. Yeah, you know what I should have done? Move to this town over there so that I could continue scouting in this area, because I do want to discover more civs as quickly as possible. Whatever, that's fine with me. Now, what do I want to do? Either I can go for worker or start working on a great library. I'm almost up to the point where I can gain my next policy, and with this policy I can gain my next worker. So I'm gonna start working on Great Library, and I'm gonna use this policy to gain an access to a worker. Now, I'm not actually 100% certain if Oh no, they already have access to running. I bet that they are going for Great Library. But we can check this out with our map hacks, which is good, and Papillon found it already. You cheats. Alright, that's good, that's good. As long as they don't steal my Papillon, it's fine, and as long as I'm able to find my own before somebody else, then that's still fine. I want a religion, that's what I want. Anyway, let's have a quick look. Only 2 population points, and they're definitely not working on a great library. They have stone, cotton, gold, decent starting location, alright, alright. They could be valuable allies, or opponents that are actually relatively easy to kill. I mean, there is a river surrounding his city, which would be difficult to get around, but with catapults and or trebuchets, it shouldn't be a really big problem now, should it? Alright, next social policy. This is actually a difficult choice, because I'm not sure if aristocracy isn't better than an additional worker when you're trying to rush your great library. Some Civ 5 Pro would probably tell you that, but I'm not a pro, not by a long shot. I have played a lot of this game, but I still can't make up my mind if it's better to rush aristocracy or a free worker when you're trying to get your great library quickly. Because 50% production sounds nice, but not when your city has how much production? 6. That's not very impressive. That would give me like +1 production at best. So then it would prove that it's much better to actually go for Republic, because this would still give me +1 production and even more production when making buildings, which is nice. And then there's citizenship, which I'm going to go for. Now, there are things that people usually tend to do. They use their workers to actually clear out forests. That's usually a nice idea, because clearing forests gives you +20 production for your structure, and this speeds up the production of Great Library incredibly well, which is nice. But what I am going to do with those guys is probably go and try harvesting this. Actually, I cannot make a mine just yet, so I'll probably just utilize this farm as quickly as possible for now. You decide just move over there, and what I can do is switch into production focus. Now this will make my city stagnate. Now I want to have one more point of population before I make my city stagnate. Do I? Yes, I do. Yeah, I have to wait 4 turns, and then I will be able to gain an additional population pod, which I'll put on this tile, and this will give me extra production. Yeah, I still have 21 turns to go before I gain access to this great library, so you know. I'm not really in a hurry, am I? I did make a mistake over here. Well, maybe there's... Never mind, I was hoping that there's a land access to this area through here. There is not. Oh well, we can have a nice look at those manly men from this Shaka. No, from the Zula, I'm sorry, I'm mixing the leader name with the Sith name, but that's okay. Anyway, they are wielding those nice shields and whatnot. I do have a spot for those shields, and now barbarians are even blocking my way. That's fine, let's start killing them slowly but surely. I will take quite a nice amount of damage from this, but then I can start healing, and I will heal more quickly than this guy. I will gain levels to help me fight those guys, and in time I will be able to clear them out. It will take a long time, don't get me wrong, but I'm fine with taking my sweet time as long as I can actually achieve what I want to achieve, as simple as that. And also there are crabs nearby. Oh, come on! This makes me wish that I had put my city over here. I wouldn't have an access to a mountain, but crabs and sea trade routes. Yeah, now I think that over here would be better. But then I wouldn't gain access to this wheat over here and this salt. No, it is difficult to admit, but I think I made the best decision. Problem is, all of the locations over here are good locations for a city, all of them. And that's why I'm constantly changing my mind if it is actually the best location or not. But I still like it. It is also very defendable, so just because of that, I think it is a good decision. And I'm making my way up the score, which is nice. I guess there is hope for me after all. And I think that I'm going to drink some ginseng drink. Or should I save it for endless space, because those things are expensive, relatively speaking, obviously. I don't know. Anyway, people hate smiling. That's annoying, because this means that it will take me a while to actually enter a golden age, and the golden age is quite flanky, amazing, as you can see right here. Oh well, I can wait for a while. Let's attack those guys again, because I believe that those guys, even when combining their forces, still will not be able to actually kill me in 110. You know what, I'm not gonna risk it actually. Those guys do look like they're looking for trouble. They might also actually be heading in this direction to actually kidnap my workers, but then I can turn my scouts around. Which I might actually do. I cannot allow the barbarians to kidnap my workers. That's the biggest threat ever. Hopefully they will just go away in the other direction. And as I also feared, they are indeed going to attack my units. That's good. They have a defensive terrain bonus. Because of jungle and because of hills, they're also healing and whatnot. So it's going to be nice. I think I have this... Yeah, I've got it covered. It should be nice. Also, my unit level up. Very nice. Obviously, I'm gonna go for the drill promotion. Keep healing, dear sir. I believe I'll be able to whittle the enemy down slowly but surely. They'll just keep bleeding on my units, which is very, very nice. Let's end the turn again. And I do want to drink some ginseng fleet, so give me a second. Oh, whew. Oh boy. That's an energy pill and a half. Let me take another sip, please. Wow. I love ginseng drinks. I do love them a lot. Ooh. Yeah, that's what I needed. That's really what I needed. That's what my throat needed, more to the point. Anyway, Warsaw now has 4 civilians. By the way, Warsaw, I believe that's one of the most awesome names for you know, capital. I mean, Warsaw. It's like Warhammer, except it's a Warsaw. I know that's not what this name originally was meant to mean. I mean, honestly, Warsaw, Warszawa, that doesn't mean Warsaw. But you people call it Warsaw, and I like it. It sounds awesome, like a tool that you would use in a war, and the most sadistic tool you could use as well. Yeah, I do like it. And there is a city-state nearby. That's very nice. That's very nice indeed. Also, I just remembered why I really wanted to make this videocast as soon as possible. Do you wanna know why? As some of you may know, I do live in a small village next to a forest. Thank you for the gold cave. And yeah, I do tend to work outside whenever I need to work on my netbook. So I do work outside and I lay down on my... I don't know how to call it. It's like a chair, except you can lie down on it. I don't know. It's a very strange tool of sadistic pleasure, but I like it nevertheless. And then I just walk while observing nature around me, which is a very enjoyable experience, especially since there's a waterfall nearby. A small waterfall, but a waterfall nevertheless. And today, there are always many beds around me, but today those beds are like, I don't know, maybe it's an International Bear Day, or maybe International Boziness Day, because one bed just came up right next to me, he stared me in the eyes and was like, "What's up? You wanna do something?" So I took about a bunch of photos of this parody, and he was like, "Yeah, follow me some more." After I finished making photos of this little fella, I really expected him to actually ask for money for those photos. I really did. He was completely ignoring me. Most birds over here, they don't care about you all that much, but they do fly away if you move. Or at least they do not walk right next to you. And he was like, "Yeah, those are your feet, whatever. I have seen many human feet before, so yeah." Anyway, I'm talking off topic. You know that I tend to do this a lot, but I thought I would share this with you. So, what good thing happened to me? I can found a pantheon. Very good, because I'm the second civilization to found it, and this probably means that I will be one of the first ones to grab a religion, which is usually a very good thing indeed. So let's find our pantheon. Now, there are several pantheons that I personally like. God of Craftsmen is a decent one, but not necessarily a good one. Desert Folklore is definitely my favorite one, but only if I have access to a desert. I do not. There's one desert town over here. That's not good enough for Desert Folklore. Actually, there's more desert over here. This whole thing is deserts. But still, that's probably not worth going for, Desert Folklore. I would disallow some other civilization that is probably on desert from getting Desert Folklore, but I'm not a screw. If I'm playing multiplayer, then sure, but this time, nah. Assistant Warfare plus 1 character from Shires, that's actually fairly good, especially if you are going to have a lot of cities, which I may do. But that's not my kind of style. I don't have any access to Tundras, that's no. Faith Healers is a pretty OP thing to have in early game, but only when you're fighting against an aggressive human player. Against AI, maybe not so much. Fertility rights, I'm probably going to go for, but I'll think for a little bit more. God of Sea, only if I'm next to a sea. I'm not. God of War, that's pretty decent. That's actually really decent. Yeah, why not go for it? I will think about it. Goddess of Festivals, that's for extra one instance. I don't have any of this. Plus 1 happiness for big population cities, that's pretty rubbish, I'm gonna be honest. Extra city combat, combat strength, that's not very useful. Extra god from camps, I don't have any. And OMG, I just realized something. I don't have any pastures nearby. There are no pastures anywhere, there are no horses anywhere either. Oh, because I didn't discover horses yet. Maybe there are horses nearby. Please let there be horses nearby. If I don't have horses, I'm screwed. Anyway, let's continue looking at those things. Extra gold for camps, I mean food from camps, science from city connections. Extra production when making ancient and classical wonders. This might be good, I might go for it, but it's only giving you bonuses in early game, then it's useless. That's why I don't really like it. Capture from plantations, no. Gold and silver, I only have one mine, that's not as good. Faster border growth, no. Jungle towns, I do have some jungle towns, but not too many. Sacred path, Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Extra happiness from river, no. Quarries, no. Gems and pearls, no. You know what? Usually I would go for fertility rites, because it's honestly the best pantheon you can imagine in my honest opinion. But just because God of War sounds amazing, I will go for fertility rites, thank you. I'm sorry, it's just too good not to go for it. It really, really is. Anyway, I'm gonna end my 10, but I just realized that I did not showcase to you one of the new features of this expansion, which is the tourism feature. Now, obviously, I'm not generating any tourism just yet, but later on it's gonna be a quite nifty feature that I will happily show to you. Right now, however, I do not have any works of art of any description, so I cannot really show you anything. Anyway, alright, now my scouts became archers. Not my favorite type of runes, but yeah, it does give you archers that can actually move very quickly around the battlefield. I mean, usually you cannot upgrade your scouts. That's the only way for you to upgrade your scouts actually in the game. So it's not a bad thing to have, it isn't. Also, you just how much are you focusing on production? Not much, because my city knows that I need food to grow, so it's focusing on that. But instead, I could resign from 2 food and gain a lot of extra production. But it would take me ages to gain extra population point, and that's probably what is my biggest strength. Actually, when I finish production of this mine, which I just did, how much production is it going to give me? Plus 10, and it's going to limit the amount of time it takes me to make a great library by 3. That's quite significant. And I don't trust AI to not go for a great library, so I am going to go for this extra production on this mine. I'm sorry, it's very important in my honest opinion. What I'm also going to do is try to make a salt mine as quickly as possible. I don't remember what salt mine gives you. It either gives you food or production, one of the two. But it's still very useful to have. I hope honestly that it gives me... Actually, both are fine in my honest opinion. Now, are you making a great library? No, you're not, but probably other people are. Alright, well, I did want to check demographics, so let's have a quick look at that. I do have a lot of production, more than anybody else, so I think it's safe to say that I will be able to get my great library before anybody else. That's good. I have the biggest income. Wow, that's surprising. Whatever. My people hate me and I don't have any soldiers. That's usually a problem, because AI always declares war on you if it feels like you're weak. Even if it's supposed to be peaceful, it will declare war on you just because. Although I did notice that in this expansion, AI tends to be very passive. Like TB said, and I didn't believe him when he said it, I just thought that he happened to random AI that was peaceful, but honestly in my games, AI was also very reluctant to declare war on me, even when I was very weak. So I don't know, maybe it lacks guts into this expansion, which is... I'm not too happy about this, honestly. I would much rather have the AI be very aggressive like it always was for me. Anyway, let us... My warriors have healed quite a lot of decent amount, so let's attack... Which one do I want to attack? Well, I do want to clear this encampment sooner rather than later, so let's attack a little bit. Now, the barbarians might attack me in the next 10, and they'll deal a considerable amount of damage, but I don't think they'll be able to kill me. I mean, those guys will be pretty close to killing me, especially with the support of this guy over here, but I don't think they will have what it takes to actually really knock me down. Alright, let's queue up some more science. What do I want next? Animal husbandry. I need to know if there are horses nearby. If they're not, I'm screwed. Why? Because one of the Polish unique structures, Ducal Stable, is fairly bug in the late game. But it's still decent, and in every game, and actually up into mid-game, it is amazing, especially if you have one in your capital. I mean, in your capital, you can gain all those amazing structures like Brandenburg Gate and whatnot. And combine that with Ducal Stable, which gives you extra experience for your mounted units. Winged Hussars are just amazing with the Ducal Stable, that's what I'm getting at. So I do hope that there are horses somewhere hidden nearby. I pray that this is the case. If not, if there are no horses anywhere nearby, then I'm dead, because my biggest strength, well, maybe not the only, but biggest strength, is the cavalry. There's no question about that, there's no denying this fact either. I have a calendar, that's nice, not very useful to me, although I can now make Stonehenge if I choose to do so. Somebody has went for Aura Tradition. Oh, I do like the name of this pantheon or whatever. Extra collateral from plantations, that's not a bad pantheon to go for, if you have access to plantations, that is. Now it does look a little bit like those barbarians are trying to go for my workers, which worries me a little bit. So Uder says, Make your way towards my walkers, make sure that they are safe. Barbarians can go over here in one tent and here in another, and I will still have time to run away if I find them to be nearby. Okay, it should be very good. Now, anything else, anything else, anything else? Well, I do need to kill up something after animal husbandry. I will gain philosophy from Great Library, so what do I need? I do want the wheel, because watermill is amazing, and this will give me quick access to horseback riding. Honestly, I don't really care about having access to, you know, iron early on. I don't expect to be in too many wars, and even if AI does declare war on me, with horseback riding, if I do end up having access to horses, I'll be able to kill pretty much anyone relatively easily. Pirates might be nice, but I do care more about the wheel than anything else. So let's go for that, shall we? Let's end my turn. Alright, this video is relatively long, and actually making a video too long is a big problem for me, because it is difficult to encode it. YouTube hates longer videos. It usually gives me trouble when I try to upload them. And hey, +1 food and +1 production from improving this town. That's amazing, exactly what I was looking for. Going to be very, very helpful. Alright, those barbarians, they moved back so I can continue to scout with my scouts. That's good. This moment of the indecision did cost me probably like 2 days, which is like a century or something, but that's acceptable, I would say. That really, really is. Alright, since I am leading in production, now I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna continue working on my Great Library. It's very important. But anyway, as I said, I don't want to make this video cast too long, so I think I'm gonna end right here after adopting this policy. What do I want? Well, I can make my empire enter a golden and red way. No, I'm gonna save it for later. There's no reason to rush it. I can go for Republic. That's very nice, because it would give me this extra protection, and later on it would give me access to a free settler, which I do want. I do want to settle a city somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know where, but I do want to find it somewhere. And hopefully I will have access to horses wherever I find a city. Maybe somewhere here would be nice. I mean, would have access to this natural wonder, which would give me a lot of gold, access to crabs, which are amazing, and later on I could move over here as well, which is also a decent location. Everywhere is a decent location, I'm gonna be honest, so I'm gonna go for Republic. And because I did that, my production should be severely improved, so I believe I can... No, I don't want to risk it! No, I'm not gonna risk it, I'm sorry. I know it will take me... No, I need to grow. I do need to grow. You know what, I think I'm ahead of any other AI that might try to make this. I mean, now Morocco is actually leading in manufactured goods, and how do they have 5 literacy? I mean, the best literacy rank with 10%. They just had 0% a second ago. How did they do this? How? Alright, in this case, I'm not gonna risk it at all. They might indeed be going for Great Library. I don't care if they treated themselves from technology or not. I'm not willing to take this kind of risk. Also, there is a city-state nearby. But anyway, I'm trying to end this gas for a while now, and maybe this time I'll succeed. It was PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer. If you somehow managed to enjoy my videocast, then please do like it. Maybe even subscribe to my channel if you wish to see more. Also, please do leave a comment, because I do love comments. I love reading them. They help me out a lot. They are the best sign of support you can throw out. And thank you for watching. It was PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer, and I'll see you online.